I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform. Don't you want to see what's out there? There's a reason no one goes to the surface. It's dangerous.
For 40 years, the corruption of the Transformers' home world Cybertron has been heavily depicted across various Transformers continuities, and judging by the recent Transformers 1 trailer, it will be the center focus of the film. So in this video, I'm going to deep dive into how the plot of the film could unfold, and how it will depict the previous Transformers continuities. Now this video will be mainly focused on the role that Sentinel Prime will play in the Transformers 1 movie, and speculating what ultimately destroys the friendship between Optimus Prime and Megatron. So, let's speculate. Now various continuities have done deep dives into the past of Cybertron that are relevant to Transformers 1, like the original Generation 1 cartoon back in 1984, the 2010s Aligned Continuity, and the IDW comics. Now in the Transformers 1 trailer, we can see a Quintesson and the Sharkticons. Whether or not this character is one of the main Quintessons is yet to be known, because when they first featured back in the Generation 1 1986 movie, we had different variations of the Quintesson race. We had the judges, the prosecutors, the bailiffs, the executioners, and the Alicons. So I don't think this Quintesson is a judge, but most likely perhaps a prosecutor. Regardless, he'll be a high-ranking Quintesson.
Stupid organic!
Now in the trailer we see the Quintessons meeting up with Sentinel Prime, who is surrounded by his elite guard and his regular troopers, with their design looking very similar to the Vehicons in Transformers Prime. In this film, Sentinel Prime is confirmed to be voiced by John Hamm. Now Sentinel was first named in the Marvel Comics as Optimus Prime's predecessor, and it seems that this will likely be the case in Transformers 1 as well. Now Sentinel Prime technically first appeared in the Generation 1 episode 5 Faces of Darkness Part 4 back in 1986. In this episode, we got a series of flashbacks to Cybertron's past, where the Quintessons once ruled over the planet, and we see Sentinel rise up as a gladiator and become the leader of the Autobots and lead to the first war with the Decepticons. Unfortunately, Sentinel Prime didn't survive his encounter with Megatron and was killed. But back when this episode aired, he wasn't named Sentinel Prime. In the script, he was just called U-Haul. But due to Sentinel Prime's popularity in Transformers Animated and Bayverse, it was retroactively confirmed and accepted by fans that this would be named Sentinel Prime. Despite the name of Sentinel Prime already existing before Transformers Animated, it was the show that made his name and character popular. In this series, he was an egotistical, condescending narcissist who only cared for himself and his own success. But before he became a member of the Elite Guard, serving under Ultra Magnus' command, in his youth, he was friends with Optimus, with them both being in the Autobot Academy together. But due to the death of their friend Elita 1, who would unfortunately become the vengeful Black Arachnia, Sentinel would always hold a grudge against Optimus for not going back to save her.
We need to go back for Elita! She's offline. This is all your fault!
The two would butt heads several times over the course of the series, resulting into some explosive arguments. Now it seems very unlikely that they'll be depicting this storyline of Optimus Prime and Sentinel, but instead will give Sentinel from Transformers 1 the same characteristics as animated. Here's hoping anyway.
There are no Decepticons on this planet, so keep your audio unit shut or I'll do it for you. I'd like to see you try, you worthless crankshaft. That's it!
Now the director of the Transformers 1 movie, Josh Cooley, has confirmed that this is not a prequel to any of the other Transformers live action movies. That includes Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts. So we don't have to worry about any continuity errors when it comes to Sentinel Prime, because the last time we saw the character was in Dark of the Moon back in 2011. It appears that the only characteristic trait that Bayverse Sentinel will share with Transformers 1 Sentinel would be the corruption. As we saw in Dark of the Moon, he went against and betrayed the Autobots and worked with Megatron in an attempt to rebuild Cybertron, wanting to use the humans as slave workers, which of course is similar to the caste system that was once on Cybertron, which dives into the Aligned Contunity. And it appears from this trailer that Transformers 1 will be heavily inspired from the Aligned Contunity, which was formed during the 2010s to serve as the definitive Bible and lore for the Transformers, which would take ideas from previous continuities and sort of unify it all as one. Now this idea has somewhat been abandoned over the course of the 2020s, but regardless, heavy inspiration is still drawn from that original Aligned Continuity. As described in the Covenant of Primus, Sentinel Zeta Prime was installed as a Quintesson puppet. He ruled with his 13 subordinates and formed the Elite Guard, which worked as a police force. Eventually, Sentinel would recognize the situation for what it was and stopped being a puppet, and rallied a group of Cybertronians and rebelled against the Quintessons, managing to drive him off the planet. But unfortunately, the Transformers wasn't unified for long, as the Decepticons hated him for the caste system that was implemented, which dominated Cybertronian society, which we can see feature in the trailer, with the Transformers having their T-Cogs removed, being resorted to mining, factory work, etc., which our main characters from Transformers 1 are trying to break free from. Now these Transformers work in the depths of Cybertron and have never seen the surface world, being unaware that there is other life on the planet. Now T-Cogs essentially is what makes a Transformer, well, a Transformer, the ability to scan and take an alternate mode. In the Aligned Continuity, the Decepticon faction would rebel against Sentinel's oppressive government, and Sentinel would meet his end by the hands of Megatron, later tortured and killed by Soundwave, which we saw depicted in the Transformers War for Cybertron video game.
Finish it! The Omega Key is mine! The core of Cybertron is mine!
Now one thing to note is that Alpha Trion did not agree with the caste system, and the pair had fallen out, so Alpha Trion exiled himself to the Iacon Hall of Records. And judging by the trailer, we can see a very much similar situation play out, with Alpha Trion being banished to the cave that hold the dead bodies of the 13 Primes. Now how the 13 Primes were defeated and left there is still a mystery. Either a great big battle took place with the Fallen, or they was all defeated by the Quintessons. Regardless, I bet that this is the moment where D16 names himself Megatron. So it seems like Transformers 1 will depict the events of the Aligned Continuity with just a few tweaks. Now is Sentinel Prime merely a puppet forced to do the Quintesson's bidding against his will? Or is he a political, egotistical, narcissistic jerk who doesn't care and is just hungry for power by whatever means? Now I suspect a combination of both. I suspect that the events will be very similar to the Aligned Continuity, with the Transformers rebelling and unifying to take down the Quintessons and Sentinel Prime's oppressive government, with this being more evident by seeing the Seekers, who are part of the Transformers rebellion group, being led by Starscream taking down Sentinel Prime's Vehicons and Elite Guard members. This will no doubt be a great moment in the film where all the Transformers come together until it all falls apart. And perhaps the fate of Sentinel Prime will be what destroys the friendship between Optimus and Megatron. Megatron no doubt wanting vengeance, and Optimus wanting a peaceful resolution. And upon further examination of the trailer, if you look very closely, the scene of Megatron's fusion cannon forming looks to be taking place when Optimus Prime lands, with the shot highlighting the Matrix. Now what tells us this is the backgrounds looking very similar to each other. So if this is confirmed, we will be seeing Optimus Prime fight Megatron, no doubt towards the very end of the film. Will Megatron kill Sentinel Prime, and that's the reason why Optimus has no choice but to go against his former friend? Or will it be very similar to the Aligned Continuity, to which we saw in Transformers Prime, where Megatron wanted to overthrow the old guard with force, and arrogantly demanding to be named the next Prime, with their friendship falling apart instead due to the Council choosing Optimus to be the next Prime, with Optimus proving himself to be worthy, and not finding violence as a means to achieve injustice. I theorise that the Decepticon faction will be created by D16, who will no doubt name himself Megatron as soon as he gets his T-Cog by Alpha Trion, because when he discovers the dead body of his fallen idol, the Fallen, in the cave, he'll use the marking that he has on his shoulder to represent the new insignia for the faction, as a way of honouring his former idol for what he believed in. Because the Fallen in most continuities has always been depicted as a tragic character, and in the Aligned Continuity, his real name was revealed to be Megatronus, so I have no doubt that this gets revealed to D16, so in honour of him, he names himself after him by shortening it to Megatron, giving us the reason why D16 looks up to him so much. And he will then take over the Transformers Rebellion group, supposedly the outcasts of Cybertron, who are being led by Starscream. And if history has told us anything, Soundwave and Shockwave will no doubt find Megatron to be the more competent leader, thus giving us a reason in this film why Starscream has always held a grudge against Megatron, with him stealing power from him. Ah, Starscream, you best enjoy that throne while you can. And there we have it, guys. This has been my speculation of how I think the plot is going to unfold in Transformers 1. Of course, share me your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your theories? How do you think this plot's going to go down? What gets us to that moment where Optimus Prime and Megatron have to fight each other? Honestly, guys, I'm not prepared for it. I don't want them to fall out, because the chemistry I've seen so far in the trailer, to me, has done a really good job. Of course, if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'll be covering a lot more videos on Transformers 1, so make sure you don't miss any of them. You can check out my previous videos where I react to the trailer for the first time, and my breakdowns of the trailers, and also my defense of the reaction to the Transformers 1 trailer. If you're new to my channel, I do a lot of Transformers content, from design ranking videos, and so much more, so be sure to check them out if you're interested. Anyway guys, I've been Common and Cam, thank you for watching, and until the next video, goodbye.